Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the noise, get straight to the point, and bring you the clearest insights from sources you care about.
Mm,
So today we're tackling a big one. You hear it everywhere, right?
yeah, constantly.
Is this whole AI boom just another internet bubble waiting to burst?
It's the question on everyone's mind, it seems.
Totally. And it's a natural comparison, isn't it? The speed, these crazy valuations, it feels like a gold rush.
Very familiar echoes.
Yeah, especially if you remember the dot-com era. People worry, crashes, lost investments, dashed hopes.
Understandably so. History casts a long shadow.
But is that really what's happening now? Or is AI, well, fundamentally different somehow?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Right. So our mission today is to unpack that comparison. We'll look closely at the internet bubble, see the similarities with AI now, and then explore why AI might be a whole different kind of revolution.
A deeper dive.
Exactly. By the end, you should have a much clearer sense of not just what's going on, but why it matters for tech, for the future, and how you might read the news about it.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here, I think, is how quickly we grab onto these historical analogies, especially with something moving as fast as AI.
Right. It gives us a framework.
Exactly. That AI bubble story is a convenient shortcut, mentally.
Okay.
But, well, as we'll get into, the popular version often misses some really crucial details.
Nuances, yeah, about both history and what's happening right now. Okay, so let's start there. The internet bubble. When we say that, what usually comes to mind, for me, it's those spectacular flameouts.
The poster children.
Yeah, like boo.com, right? Burned through, what, almost $200 million in 18 months?
Incredible numbers. And Webvan
Oh, Webvan. Grocery delivery raised like $800 million and poof, gone.
and Pets.com.
The sock puppet.
The sock puppet became the symbol of it all, didn't it? IPO and darling 1 minute, bankrupt the next. It really felt like everything was failing. It certainly looked that way on the surface. Widespread carnage.
But looking back now, was the technology itself actually the problem, or were we maybe missing the bigger picture back then?
That's such a critical distinction.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we connect this to the bigger picture, calling the whole internet revolution a bubble, it needs a lot of clarification.
Okay. How so?
Well, yes, there was a massive speculative frenzy,
Yeah.
huge amounts of money lost, no question.
Right.
But people often mix up the speculative market bubble with the underlying technological shift.
Ah, okay. Two different things.
Completely. The internet as a technology, it was a massive, undeniable success. It completely changed how we live, work, interact, everything.
You can't argue with that.
And it led to these incredibly powerful, wealthy global companies still dominating today.
Like Amazon, Google.
Exactly. Amazon, Google, eBay, Salesforce, Expedia. These guys weren't just lucky survivors of the dot-com crash.
They did something right.
They had solid business models, defensible ones. They executed well, focused on delivering real value. They didn't just survive, they thrived. They reshaped whole industries.
So it wasn't the internet's fault then. It was more about the approach.
Precisely. The approach many took to capitalize on it. The bubble was really about the poor execution, the irrational expectations of so many players, not the internet's intrinsic value.
Got it. So people saw the potential and just jumped in too fast.
Exactly. Jumped in hastily without proper planning.
Yeah.
Focusing on, eyeballs and market share instead
Right.
of sustainable revenue.
The get big fast idea.
That was the mantra. Without a clear path to actually making money, spending wildly on marketing without a solid product market fit.
Like Pets.com shipping heavy cat litter for free.
Right. Great for the customer, maybe, but a terrible business model considering the logistics.
So the key takeaway is the internet's power was real, undeniably real. The bubble was for those who rushed in unprepared. Bad models, unrealistic hopes.
Correct. The technology itself wasn't the problem. The correction, though painful, cleared out the unsustainable stuff.
And allowed the solid companies to really take root and grow.
That's right. The value remained, it just consolidated.
Okay, that nuance is super important. It wasn't the tech, it was often the strategy, the economics.
Yes.
So let's build on that. Thinking about execution, about that initial rush, are we seeing similar things now in AI's early days?
Oh, absolutely.
Because it feels like a gold rush, doesn't it? Maybe even this AI washing thing where everyone slaps AI onto their product.
Indeed we are. The early stages of AI, they're unfolding in a remarkably similar way to the internet's first phase. A lot of those same gold rush behaviors are visible.
So lots of investment, lots of excitement.
A flood of investment, yeah. Tons of innovation. And it's pretty safe to say many will try to, board the moving train without a really clear, sustainable plan,
Just like the dot-com days.
just like then. And inevitably, many of these ventures will fail, but, and this is key, some will achieve enormous success. They'll become the giants of the AI era.
Can you give some concrete examples? What does this AI gold rush look like right now? What are those parallels to the dot-com mistakes?
Sure. Think about all these wrapper companies springing up.
Rappers? What do you mean?
Startups built mostly around using existing large language models like GPT-4 or others without adding much truly new innovation themselves.
Ah, so they put a nice interface on it, maybe to target a niche.
Exactly. But their core value isn't deeply unique or hard for someone else to copy. It mirrors those early .com e-commerce sites selling generic stuff online without a real edge.
Got it. And the AI washing.
We see that too. Companies sticking AI powered onto existing products to grab investment or attention.
Right.
Even if the actual AI part is pretty superficial, adds minimal value. It's just like businesses adding .com to their names back in the late 90s to ride the hype.
Okay, so it's that perception of value over maybe the real defensible innovation. What about how resources are being used?
Well, that's another parallel. There's this intense scramble for key resources.
Like talent, compute power.
Top AI talent,
Yeah.
yes. Massive computing power, which is incredibly expensive. And the huge data sets needed for training these models.
Drives up costs for everyone.
Hugely. Makes it harder for smaller players without deep pockets to compete purely on infrastructure. And you're seeing these sky-high valuations.
Based more on promise than profit.
Often, yeah.
Yeah.
Based on potential, future promise, rather than current revenue or proven profitability, many are burning through cash incredibly fast.
Chasing growth over sustainable
It's
economics.
that grow at all costs echo again, very.com.
Right.
And another challenge is data. Getting the right data. Many powerful AI applications need really specific, high-quality, sometimes proprietary data to be truly effective.
Not just generic web scrapes.
Exactly. Companies without a strategic edge in data find it tough to move beyond basic AI stuff to something truly game-changing and defensible.
So this whole initial phase is kind of a sorting mechanism.
It is a natural sorting process. The well-prepared, thoughtful approaches, built on solid tech, real value, strategic data, they'll likely succeed.
While the hasty ones, the thin wrappers.
They'll struggle. It's a necessary shakedown, really. Painful sometimes, but part of how these big transformative technologies mature.
Okay. So yeah, on the surface, those patterns, the excitement, the overspending, the potential failures, they do look really similar.
They do.
Which explains why that AI bubble comparison is so easy, so tempting. And here's where I think it gets really interesting. Maybe comparing the internet to AI is like comparing apples and, I don't know, oranges, or maybe apples and engines.
Huh? Apples and engines are like that. Or maybe.
Something else entirely different?
Yeah.
Because the scale, the fundamental nature of AI feels just profoundly different.
I think that gets to the heart of it. This raises a really important question about the core distinction between these two revolutions.
Okay.
And to really grasp that distinction, maybe an analogy helps. Comparing the internet to AI, it's kind of like comparing the invention of, say, shoelaces
Shoelaces, okay.
to the development and widespread use of electricity. For everything, industry, homes, everything.
Right. Both useful, revolutionary even, in their own way. Shoelaces fixed a problem. But electricity.
Electricity wasn't just an invention. It was a foundational utility. It enabled countless other inventions. It reshaped literally every aspect of civilization. Manufacturing, communication, light, medicine, everything.
That's a powerful analogy. Okay, so how does that map onto the internet versus AI?
Well, the internet was mainly a connectivity revolution.
Yeah, connecting people, information.
Exactly. It fundamentally changed how we access, share, process information, created new ways to communicate, do commerce, be entertained. It linked up data and, crucially, existing human minds across the globe.
Made us more efficient, more connected.
Exponentially increased our ability to talk, collaborate, find stuff out.
Yeah.
But it primarily networked existing human intelligence, made us better, faster, more connected.
Okay, makes sense.
But AI is something much more profound. It's not just about better connections or faster processing of human stuff. It's a revolution in...
Well, in intelligence itself.
A revolution in intelligence itself.
Right.
Wow, okay, that's a huge statement. What does that actually mean, practically, beyond just smarter software? How does that play out?
It means AI can fundamentally change what is possible. Not just how we connect, but how we think, how we solve problems.
How so?
When we talk about modern AI, we're often talking about deep learning, neural networks, systems that can learn from data. They spot patterns, sometimes non-obvious ones, generalize, even create novel things.
So not just following instructions like old software.
Exactly. It's different. Think about science. AI can process vast amounts of scientific literature way beyond human capacity in seconds.
In medicine, for instance, it's not just speeding up drug discovery, though it does that. Sifting through molecular interactions. It's enabling personalized diagnostics.
Tailored treatments.
Yeah, analyzing your unique genetics, your history, predicting risks, suggesting treatments just for you. It can read complex medical scans with amazing accuracy, maybe spotting things a human eye might miss.
So it's finding connections, patterns beyond human scale, or maybe even intuition.
Precisely. Or take physics, science generally. AI helps model incredibly complex systems.
Things too complicated for our brains alone.
Too many variables, yeah. Climate models, new materials at the atomic level. It can actually help discover new principles, new structures, like a co-pilot for discovery.
Wow, material science, you said.
Yeah, AI is already suggesting new compounds with specific desired properties, speeding up development of better batteries, more efficient solar cells, things like that.
Okay. And robotics, that feels like a big one.
Huge. AI is the key push needed to go beyond those repetitive factory robots.
Yeah.
You know, the ones doing the same task over and over on an assembly line.
Right, bolted to the floor.
To truly autonomous systems. Systems that can perceive, reason, adapt in messy, unpredictable environments.
Like self-driving cars in city traffic.
Exactly. Or robots doing complex work in dangerous places, deep sea, space, without constant human remote control.
That paints a picture of systems that don't just process faster, but actually learn and adapt in ways nothing before really could.
That's the core of it. Unlike the internet, which gave us better tools to connect and interact with info and each other, AI can augment and, in some areas, potentially exceed human cognitive abilities.
So not just enhancing us, but creating new kinds of intelligence.
Creating new forms of intelligence, yes. That can tackle problems previously beyond our reach, or at least beyond our speed.
Yeah.
This difference is fundamental. It means AI's potential is, well, essentially limitless.
Limitless.
Constrained really only by our imagination, by compute power, and by our ability to ask the right questions. The internet changed how humans interact. AI creates systems that can generate solutions, find insights, operate autonomously. It's a qualitative shift.
That really hammers home the point. This isn't just iteration number, 5.0 of tech. It's a whole different paradigm shift.
It feels that way, yes.
Not just connecting us better, but creating new ways of knowing, of doing.
Yeah.
So what does all this mean for how we should understand these huge tech shifts? We probably need to rethink that word bubble, right?
I think so. If we connect this to the bigger picture, what people often call bubbles, they're actually pretty natural phases, almost predictable in the adoption of truly transformative tech.
So not just boom and bust, more like a cycle.
Think of it more like a natural cycle,
Yeah.
Less binary. You have the initial trigger, the innovation, then that intense excitement, the overinvestment.
The peak of inflated expectations.
Exactly. That's often followed by a necessary correction. The trough of disillusionment. That's where the unsustainable ventures, the hype-driven ones without real substance or a viable model, they fail.
The shape.
Right. And then, hopefully, you get the slope of enlightenment, leading to the plateau of productivity. That's where the technology's real value becomes clear. Sustainable businesses emerge, the ones that truly harness its power.
So the correction, the trough, isn't actually a sign that technology failed. It's more like pruning the weak branches.
That's a good way to put it. Necessary pruning. The crucial insight is the fundamental value of the technology. It doesn't disappear during that correction.
Okay.
It just gets concentrated. It shifts into the hands of those who can use it effectively, thoughtfully.
So the internet bubble was a bubble for those specific failed companies and their investors.
Right. Not for the whole internet revolution itself. The infrastructure, the user base, the core utility only got stronger over time.
And with AI.
With AI, we should absolutely expect a similar pattern. Gold rush, correction, maturation.
But potentially much bigger.
Potentially on a much larger scale, yes. Given how broadly applicable AI is and how deeply it impacts cognition itself, the AI correction might look less like a total collapse and more like a massive consolidation, a shift from broad hype to really focused, value-driven applications.
Okay. So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you as you're watching this AI landscape unfold? The key takeaway seems clear. Yeah, the initial gold rush, the failures we'll inevitably see, might feel like the dot-com crash all over again.
The surface similarities are strong.
But the profound difference is AI being a revolution of intelligence itself, not just connectivity. It's a qualitative shift, creating genuinely new capabilities.
Fundamentally different potential.
Which means we really need to think beyond that simple bubble narrative, right? And
Yeah.
appreciate the unique fundamental power AI has to reshape, well, pretty much everything.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, given that AI does create new forms of intelligence, that it can augment and maybe exceed human cognition, what new questions should we be asking?
That's a big thought.
It really challenges our definition of intelligence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What problems, ones we thought were maybe unsolvable, are suddenly within reach now?
Yeah.
And what opportunities does this huge shift open up, especially for those who get its true nature, who look past the gold rush mentality towards strategic, well-planned approaches, leveraging AI as real strengths?
So how can you, the listener, spot the difference?
How can you identify the AI ventures building real defensible value, not just surfing the hype wave? It really challenges us all to look beyond the noise, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And think about the long game.